Hey, it's the Midnight Raven and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I am the Midnight Raven and today we're going to be looking at how to become a parent. I'm not going to be talking about the birds and the bees. I'm sure you already know about that. But I got this from QD or Quality Discounts. It was 99 pence, as you can see here. I have took the sticker off so that you can see the box. This is going to teach us how to become a parent. As you already know, I have 3 children, so it's a bit late for me, but doesn't mean that you can't learn. This has hints, tips, famous quotes, and a little free gift, and it's going to show you how to be the ideal parent. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to thumbs it up, and if you want to support the channel, PayPal, Super Chat, or Super Thanks. Comes in this little box. Perfect stocking figure, although Christmas has been and gone, but you could pick these up for 99 pence for next year. We do have some noodles, so we're going to get them out the way. So we have the 25 parenting cards that we're going to look at. This is hints, tips, and famous quotes on how to become a parent, and it's even got a cute little hanger. And inside we have these adorable little baby socks that come as the little free gift. So let's have a look. So this is the little free gift that come with it. You have a little pair of baby socks just to get you started. So that's a little bit of a throw in, that you get a free gift in each of the boxes. There are 7 in this series altogether. If you haven't seen the previous series, I show you how to become more British. So you get the little socks and then you get the little cards, and we're just going to go through these and see what we can find. So there are quotes as you go through. So on this page you have a quote which I will leave on screen. I'm not going to read every single one of them. And then it says, you come first. If you're reading this, then you already know you're well on your way to becoming a great parent, but don't forget yourself in the equation. Parents always forget about themselves when becoming a parent. They always think of the child, they always think of everybody else. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of a little one, which is pretty much true. Next, you have another little quote there. I'm going to leave that on the screen. Next, it says about crazy cravings. Now, if you've ever had a pregnant woman around you, they eat some weird stuff. My craving through pregnancy was mashed potato, and more mashed potato. I could have eaten gallons of mashed potato. Why? I don't know. But it was cheesy, creamy mashed potato. But some women have really weird cravings. Coal, charcoal, mint ice cream at 3 in the morning. You got to be ready for those weird cravings. Dipping weird stuff into other weird stuff that shouldn't be a thing. Pregnant women have just the weird eating habits. Next, there's another quote there. Hopefully you can see that. Next, we're talking about knock, knock, who's there? Babies can already hear during their second trimester and they get used to your voice. So it is really good to talk to the tummy. Yes, speaking to your tummy from the second trimester, getting the baby to realize and recognize your voice. You can play it music apparently and it will kick to it. I didn't really find that when I was pregnant that it would respond to things like music. It did respond to voices though, but not necessarily music. Next, you have another quote there. I'm not going to read all of these because it would take me for ages. Next, we're talking about good night, sleep tight. Yes, the lack of sleep. If you are becoming a parent, you need to know that you are never going to sleep for the first 2 years of your life. It's set in stone that you are going to be so tired at some point that you will just crash. Babies, on average, although they're meant to sleep, they do wake up consistently and have to be fed through the night. And if you're not ready for that, boy, you're going to know when it arrives. Next, we got another little quote there, which is very cute. These pictures are really nice. Next, bon appetit, feeding time. So whether you breastfeed, whether you pump, whether you bottle feed, babies need feeding every day, round the hour, round the clock. And then when they get onto things like soft foods, formulas, you know, whether you breastfeed or not, it's totally up to you. I tried to breastfeed my boys, didn't succeed. Not everyone can breastfeed. Not everybody wants to breastfeed. It is a personal choice at the end of the day. Next, we have eternal pooing. Yes, babies on average, when they're first born, will poo between 10 and 15 times a day. We are talking pooing on the hour, every hour. And it is brown, black, yellow, green, rainbow colored poop. We're talking when they're first born, their poop is black, then it changes to green, then it changes to a yellow, and eventually, when they start coming off milk and onto other things, it gets to brown. So, yeah, if you're not ready for the changing rainbow poop colors, you soon will be, because it's an adventure, I must tell you. Right, the art of potty training. Once you've got through the pooping stage and you get to your kid at about 18 months, potty training is interesting. It is one of those things that has to eventually happen. Potty training will be hit and miss. I found it easier to potty train boys than girls. I think boys are so much easier to potty train, although they do miss quite a lot, so you might want to put like a waterproof mat down. Unlike girls that sit down, boys, they have to get used to aiming. Next, setting them up for success. This is play groups, toddler groups, interacting with them, getting them to that point where they're going off to nurseries and play groups, and just spending that quality time with them before they end up going off to school, and then, you know, you end up not having to invest so much time into them. Next, the dreaded tantrums, the terrible twosome. Yes, becoming a toddler is interesting. If you have never been around a toddler for too long, you have probably never experienced the tantrums, but they can last hours every day for at least a year or two. The terrible twos are not called the terrible twos for no reason. Not gonna lie. Okay, got another little card here. Again, looks cool. Right, no. No means no. Avoid the no trap. So, avoiding the no trap, becoming an automatic response to your child's absurd behavior, where they want something and the automatic reaction is no. There are more constructive ways to tell a kid no, giving them an explanation on why no. But as soon as you say no to a kid, they're going to ask the dreaded why question. And that is a whole new kettle of fish. Once you get the no to the why, you're in a proverbial circle of, you said no, but they've like, why can't I have this? Why can't we do this? Why? And by the end of the why, you wished you hadn't said no, because yes would have been easier. Next, got another little quote there. And the next one is the art of listening. Toddlers have tantrums for reasons. Usually sweets, toys, wanting to do stuff. Listening to a child can help. Sitting them down, going, look, why are you upset? What's wrong? Listening to your child can help you a lot. Obviously, it's not necessarily going to change the fact that you said no, but you might find out why they're upset, why they're distressed. There's another little quote for you. The next thing is teamwork. Being a parent is teamwork. Showing that you can be a team as a family, and then being a team if you have siblings, brothers, sisters, and then that filters into teamwork in school and showing how you all live and work together. So team building in your family can be a thing, spending time together, showing, you know, you're a little family unit. Next, another little quote. The next one is the path to independence. As you go through your adolescence, your teenage years, and coming up to that, you start teaching your kid to be independent, whether that's going to the park by themselves, nipping to the local shop by themselves, biking around the little precinct on their own, showing kids that the big, bad, scary world out there isn't as scary as it looks, and that they will eventually have to be independent because parents die, parents separate, and sometimes you do end up, as you get older, being on your own, having to cope without the reliance on your parents. Next is self-reflection, taking time to reflect on the upbringing and the influence your parenting style gives to your child. So if you had a rough upbringing yourself, usually a parent will try and give a kid everything they didn't have. That works in some way, but can also be bad in others. You don't want to spoil your child too much because you want to teach them the value of hard work, life, working for something, and not necessarily just be handed it because you didn't have it. You want kids to appreciate what they have and what they've worked for. There's another little quote. Next thing is me. Being a parent is very time consuming. And the one person you forget about is me. You forget about yourself. You don't take time for yourself. You don't take breaks for yourself. The thing is that if you're not fully functioning, then whatever you're feeling, your kids will feel too. So if you need to take a little bit of R&R, a little bit of a break, one of you needs to go for a spa day, the other one can cope, and vice versa. Dad goes to the pub for a drink that night with the boys. You've got to take time for yourselves, because if you're not running to full speed, then your kids are going to notice there's something up. Next, there's another little card there. Next, how to become a parent, setting an example. Good behavior, good manners, good work ethic, being nice to each other can bring a kid into a nurturing, caring, loving environment. Not every parenting style will suit everybody. Some people do have a more authoritarian parenting style, more like military. Some people have a more lax parenting style. You have to find your way of parenting. Not everybody will agree with it. There is no book telling you the ins and outs of being a parenting, like step by step. You do have to sometimes make it up as you go along. Open communication. Many people forget this, but being a parent is really difficult. It is time consuming. You have to manage a child, money, work, bills, life, having a partner. It's a full-time job just being a parent, let alone everything else that goes with it. So sometimes the lines of communication, whether it's the line of communication to your boss, your family, your partner, or your kids, should always stay open, because some people suffer in silence, and that is where you can see cracks happen in a family. Next, we have this one. Next, it said, all you need is love. Love is important, but you also need to be financially sound. You need to have a job. You need to have a good relationship, good communication skills. But love is important. Quality time with your kids, giving them a hug, being at home to read that bedtime story to them. It's not everything that a parent can do, because some parents do have to work, and some parents have to work weekends. And some of us had to not have as much time with our kids because one of us has to provide while the other one looks after the children. Or in this day and age, one more will go to work and one more will stay home. Next, woe is me is a special breed of human, the moody teenager. Yes, you have hit moody teenagers at around 11 years old, maybe 12, coming up to 13. They're in that teenage stage where they are just moody beyond belief. Everything is a drag, everything is unfair, and that can carry on until they're 19. It is a very long stage of adolescence. Next, you got another little quote. Next, we have puberty. Puberty is an interesting thing when it comes to a parent. Kids' bodies changing, periods, the whole birds and the bees talk. Honestly, my boys were very educated, I must admit, with the birds and the bees. They were very educated when it came to puberty. It wasn't a thing that was really discussed. It was more like common sense. My boys are quite up when it comes to common sense. But, you have to have that talk eventually, and however uncomfortable it is, it has to happen, boys and girls. Next, you got another little quote there. And then we are talking about friend or foe. So you'll get to a point where your teenager will hate you, will despise you, will want to run away from home. And that gap between you and the parent kind of splits. Your teenagers do become more independent. You do become less of an interest for them as you have been the rest of their lives. You become just the person that's the piggy bank, or mum, I need something. And unfortunately, that's how it goes as a teenager. Next, we have this little quote here. Next, we have what's up. So, with today's street lingo, kids do learn some questionable stuff as they get older. TikTok being one of the influences nowadays. We didn't have TikTok back in my day, or Facebook, or any of that. And street lingo and bad behavior was done out in public. Now that bad behavior ends up on things like TikTok. So teenagers do act out. Teenagers do it for attention. They always have done. Nowadays, it's a bit more technical attention on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, but same old, same old. Metamorphosis. This is turning your teenager into an adult, showing them how to be independent, how to work for a living, how to be self-sufficient, maybe how to cook, how to clean, how to manage bills, and that kind of thing. And getting into the fact that your child cannot be a baby forever. They have to grow up and move out eventually. And then we come to the last page here, another little quote. And then the last page says, becoming a parent will be a weird and wonderful and depleting as well as fulfilling experience, testing and rewarding and challenging you at all times. At least you now have some good tips and tricks on how to parent from toddler, from baby to adolescence and into adult years. And that is how to become a parent. So this is 25 cards on how to become a parent. It's really just a bit of fun, if I'm really honest. No one can teach you how to be a parent. There is no set in stone workings of how to be a parent. You have to find your own niche and your own parenting style. But this is how to become a parent. You do get the little socks, which I thought were quite cool. Each of the boxes do come with their own little thing. This was how to become a parent 101. I think it's quite cute. It was 99 pence. And hopefully you learned something. If you didn't learn how to be a parent, maybe you'd like to know how to become British. This was the previous video. And in the next video, I am going to show you how to be vegan. I know. And then I'm going to show you how to be a gentleman, how to be a chef, how to be a barbecue master, and how to be a globetrotter sensation. So we have more to come of these. Let me know what you thought. Like and subscribe. Give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below your parenting school. Are you a matriarch? Are you soft? Are you in between? Let me know. Check out the previous video on how to be British. If you're not British, there's some good tips and tricks in there on how to become British. Like and subscribe. Give it a big thumbs up. Support the channel with a PayPal, Super Chat, all super things. Become a member. Support the Raven. And I will see you very soon to find out how you can become more vegan. Bye, guys.